I'm doing the single origin submissions for the Home Barista Roasters Challenge, and I wanted to make some quick comments. This is the second time I've gone around. I've just made 1 cup of each since I've already done this before, but there's some really interesting results here. Again, slightly cleaner coffees and slightly lighter roasts are going to do better when you're putting coffees side by side and looking for little differences and stuff. So there's been a lot of different choices people have made here. One of them is to just submit these really incredible coffees. So as opposed to the blending where the scoring was down, the winning coffee is maybe 86.5. We have several coffees here well over 90 points or over 90 points. So, if you put a great coffee in your roaster and you don't burn it, you're going to get some pretty good results. So I'm trying to think about this also as what was the interpretation, what was the roast interpretation that somebody did on these coffees. And I commend most everybody here. These are really some incredible choices and some really good coffees. I'll go backwards because this is Jorge Gior, and the coffee, he thinks it's Ethiopia, but it's actually Brazil. It's the fruity Chapada Diamantina Brazil, which actually, in the blending side of thing, I thought might have messed up some of the blends people did. There seemed to be an inconsistency in the cups, and I think it might have brought down some of the scores on the blending side. Jorge's roast on this side, which is a little bit lighter for sure, and I can see it's pretty mixy in the roast, is a really good interpretation of that coffee. Lots of banana and melon. I think it got near 88 points, which it didn't touch that in the blending. I don't think it added to the blend. So that's really interesting. It's not going to be a winner, but it really got a lot out of that coffee. Higher than I think we scored at Sweet Maria's. Rama Roberts did not tell us what his coffee was. I hope it's a Kenya. It's an amazing Kenya. I don't know. It's a fantastic coffee, and I'll be damned if I'm wrong there. I'm going to have my tail between my legs if that's not a Kenya. But I want to know what this is. The roast is really beautiful. It has a very compact form. He didn't let it expand too much. It's got a good surface texture, but it's still a really tight bean. He didn't take it too far. It's not underdeveloped. Beautiful, beautiful coffee. Let's go. This is a coffee from Todd that is Ethiopia RD, which is I think that's a name because that's in the Rift Valley. I think that's the name of where they found the skeleton. So I don't know what that name means or if it's a farm. Really good natural coffee. Nice roast. Just a good green coffee. Really floral and fruit. Lots of notes there. That's going to get a really high score because that coffee's just really good. This is just a second. So this is Steven Kupovic's. This is a really nice Colombia. It says it's from Dunn Brothers. It's a really restrained coffee. I think he did a nice roast on it. It's definitely a well-developed roast and starts to get a little bit of milk chocolate in it. It's not going to, these two next to each other, this one's going to just win every time. It's a loudmouth coffee. This is a restrained, quiet coffee, but I drink this coffee any day. Beautiful coffee, beautiful roast, just not a big coffee. This is the Negusilema, which I know since it comes from us. That is, this is from Doug LaPlante, and I was really surprised because it's a very oily roast. He's the only one who submitted them in jars, and I had a lot of trouble opening these jars. It's oily. It looks like it, I would assume that's roasted a little faster, and definitely dark. Definitely a good amount of second crack to develop these kind of oils after roasting. And I expected it kind of flat and really roasty, dull taste. This coffee just held up beautifully to that. It's 88 points. It's not gonna blow things away. But for the coffee and the degree of roast, I was surprised that it wasn't just ashy and dark tasting. So he did a really good job with the dark roast there. Ed Bourgeois just killed it because he submitted a Panama Geisha. And it's actually from 2008, which he had backpacked. First of all, thanks for submitting a geisha. It's has no sign of age, which I thought at least detect a slight sign of age. This geisha is just, it just kills it when it comes to the coffee tasters because it's something we haven't faced before. It's not Ethiopian flavor. It's different. It's not a full body coffee. It's not super sweet, but it's so complex in the aromatics and in this range of kind of spice, floral, accent flavors that is something you just don't taste often. So he's going to get an incredible score. But I think he really did a great job developing this roast. He didn't under roast, which is kind of a cop-out when you have a roasting competition, to just go light and not really develop the flavors. It's looking at that coffee, the roast is absolutely beautiful, just so beautiful. The shocker here is that there's 3 or 4 coffees that were coffee number E from the list, which is Leo Taraga. It's a really nice wet processed coffee we had, and it's not one of these crazy, super acidic, super citric, passion fruit wet process. It's just really nice, and we liked it a lot. But one thing happened here is 3 to 4 people submitted the same coffee. One of the roasts just blew me away. I mean, you put it next to these other ones, and it's a slightly lighter roast, I'll admit. You win a few points there with a little bit more because you're not obscuring the coffee too much. But, so this is Jason Grissett. His roast of the Leo Taraga is something I wish you could just all taste. Sweet, sweet honey butter, the buttery sweetness in this, and just the aromatics. The aromatics actually not only as you taste it, but in your mouth, like this kind of retronasal aromatics is just staggering in this coffee. So he's going to do really, really well. He may even take the prize because he took a coffee that other people submitted and just got to a level that was just incomparable. And I think that's what a roast competition's about. Ed submitted an amazing coffee and roasted it really well. So he's up there. He didn't just submit a great coffee and just go light and get points for the coffee. Anyway, we're going to score these. It's a really tough table. You have a huge mix of coffees. It's hard to separate the roast issues from the green issues of starting with a good green coffee and where you take it with your roast. But I think it's fair just to judge them on their face and look at the decisions people made and their ability to say, hey, this is the best roast, this is the one I'm going to submit. That's a real skill to taste it and say, okay, this is a coffee to submit. So they have to recognize the quality after they make those roast decisions, and huge amount of skill. I just want to say too, like amateur roasting, in amateur using the best sense of that word, is people who are purely do it for passion. It's almost purity is the best word. A lot of these coffees that I've tasted today qualify at things that I would be thrilled to be served if I went into a coffee house. So hopefully we've I know in espresso a lot of cafes and stuff still look down upon home espresso. Shocking. And there is some reasons. You have some things with professional machines that in terms of isolating vibration that travels through the water, the pressurized water and such. There's things about professional machines that are different, and there's things about home roasters that are different. But people's ability to take what they're given and make really good choices and get to this level, I think we have to look at amateurism and professionalism in coffee side by side, and judge it on its face. And these coffees I've cupped here today show a lot of really good decision making and just really great cups of coffee. So thanks. Bye.